Hi everybody, this is Joy, and this is my case presentation. I've had some problems with loading this, so I'm hoping this time it works. Okay, so Amira Smith is a single 26-year-old Caucasian female with no children who has a history of receiving services with Western Montana Mental Health Service since 2008. When she was left abandoned next to a trailer park by her father, she wandered out into the Highway 93 and was hit by a car. She sustained a head injury from that accident and was taken to the hospital and evaluated there. The head injury had no long term effects, but she was diagnosed with several different disorders, some from previous uh, diagnosis and some that are current. She has no record of employment. She was not able to give a complete history or timeline of her childhood due to her stating it was too painful for her to discuss. Her history is not clear, and other than that, she lived in Wyoming when she was a child at some point in her life and then moved to Montana during her middle school years. She has siblings, but is unsure of their ages and where they might live. She has been on and off medications for various conditions, such as attention deficit disorder, bipolar disorder, but currently she's been diagnosed with schizotypal personality disorder and is in the autism spectrum. Excuse me. Um, she is unable to provide for her daily needs and usually appears disheveled and has body odor due to lack of proper hygiene. Mary has symptoms of depression, mood swings, sleep disturbances, poor concentration, and uncontrollable agitation expressed by her throwing her cats up against the wall if they do not obey her. Um, Mary got a housing voucher and was living independently until her eviction in 2013 for lack of cleanliness in her apartment and allowing transients into her home on a regular basis. She was then placed in a group home run by WMMHC to assist her with socialization and skill building for living independently again. In 2014, Mary was arrested as an accomplice in selling drugs with an older gentleman who gave her either $5 or a hamburger to help him with the drug deal. Mary is now on probation for 3 years and sees her probation officer once a month. Currently, Mary has been again living independently in her own apartment and going to day treatment at the center 4 times a week. She has an off again, off again, on again, off again boyfriend, and she does not use birth control at this time, and she feels that she will never get pregnant anyway. Mary would like to obtain more pets, but with her previous history of animal abuse, it does not seem appropriate this time. Mary qualifies for SSI, SSDI, and also has SNAP benefits. She is again on a waiting list to obtain another housing voucher. That looks like it's not going to be coming up for several years. Um, we are her payee at WMMHC, and we take care of her finances. Mary's convinced she sees demons in the world and she fights them on a regular basis. She also feels that anime characters that she watches in movies that she's pretty obsessed with are real. She's currently receiving medications for her diagnosis, seeing a primary care physician and her psychiatrist regularly. She's going to therapy sessions, seeing her probation officer, and participating in day treatment with groups to assist her with her ongoing skill building. She also goes to the Poverello Center, the Bethel Baptist Church, the Missoula Food Bank, and she obtains clothing, food, and household items there to help her with her limited budget. At this point, she has a very sweet personality until things do not go her way. That mood can quickly change into an agitated mood where she can become threatening or noncompliant or closed off. At this time, she is being seen once a week by case management and once a week by a community based rehabilitation aide to help her with her personal hygiene, cleanliness of her apartment, and building her socialization skills and her living skills. She's also being considered for vocational rehab to see if maybe she can gain some skills to get limited employment. Um, Mary's been trying really hard to comply to these basic standards that have been set for her. She participates in treatment programs every 90 days. She gets regular feedback, and she basically knows that she must not have random people coming into her house again. She cannot have her boyfriend living there or uh, do anything that would break her lease or put her in jeopardy of losing her house. Mary's going to need assisted monitoring for the foreseeable future to address her mental health care needs and her basic skill building. We like to work on her strengths and identify them for her, and she is very positive that she's going forward into the future with a brighter future, um, and we're hoping that others do not try to exploit her. So we're working on empowerment for her, skill building, and also trying to get her feel safe in her environment. Thanks, and I hope you all have a good evening.